these are the wires that I use to support Betty's legs. You could also use standard wire, and if you do that, it's best to have something which is fairly flexible so that you can bend it easily, but which also holds its shape fairly well. Now, the good thing about these hair curlers is that when you remove the ends, they've got a wire running through them, and you can see that there's a little loop on the end. So I've used that to attach a paper clip to, because what you need to do, whether you're using foam curlers or standard wire, is just to make sure that the length is right. So the length of the piece needs to run from the heel to the top of the leg and stick out a little bit further beyond so that you've got room to join it afterwards. So that's why I used a paper clip on the end of my curler to make it the right length. And you can see I've also trimmed away some of the foam from the curler with a pair of scissors so that it's not too fat at the ankle. And then what you need to do, whether you're using wire or curlers, is to actually bind the end of the leg with a bit of fabric dressing strip, which I've done here. That just helps makes it a bit more stable, and also means that the paper clip doesn't poke through the crochet afterwards. So once you've done that, you can put that inside your leg and pass it all the way down to the bottom so that it's in place. Just make sure it's got right down to the bottom. Not quite. And then you can stuff the leg from the top using toy stuffing, but you'll need the blunt end of a crochet hook or something just to push the stuffing beyond the knee into the calf. So make sure you take your time over that, because it's quite difficult to get the stuffing through the knee, and you just need to make sure that the calf is and the leg is stuffed adequately, otherwise you'll end up with floppy ankles. When it comes to joining in Betty's legs, I've got a central wire running up the body here, and I've got my gusset stitches on the top and the remaining loops here for her bust on the front. And then I've got my legs lined up. Now make sure you get them the right way round. I've got them the wrong way round before now. And I've passed the wire of a paper clip through the loops at the top of the two leg wires and the bottom of the central wire here. So if you're using standard wire, just make a little loop at the end of each of your wires so that you can pass another piece of wire through. So I used a paper clip which I've put through all three loops. Then I can bend over the ends and twist them together to secure it. You might find it helpful to use a pair of pliers here for this. And then once they're in position, I'd twist them around a bit more than I've done now. You can use some more fabric dressing strip to wrap around the join to stop the ends poking through. Then once those are joined, you can take your gusset strip here and turn Betty over and find the centre two back stitches of this section to sew the gusset strip in place. And you can turn Betty back over ready to sew the legs on to the leg holes. Now at the top of the legs you've got these slip stitches around the inside, and they are intended to line up with the edge of the gusset here. So the point where the slip stitches start lines up with this point here at the beginning of the foundation round. So if you align those before you start sewing, you can then join stitch for stitch all the way around, sewing the leg in place.